Here's another way to look at it, right? We talked about bento boxes before. I think these are fascinating little ways to have a little fun and eat lunch at the same time, which, who doesn't like both of those things? So if we have a bento box like this, maybe we've got these little containers inside the bento box. And sometimes even inside a container, you've got containers inside the container. So if I was going to solve the complex problem of this bento box, what I might do first is start by taking it apart. I open up the box, I take out all the containers. If there are containers inside containers, I take those out. So I have each of these individual little containers all taken apart, simplified now. Then I eat those. Now, I find that there are two basic types of people in the world, right? There are the people who start by eating the thing that they like the least, right? Or there are people who start by eating the thing they like the most. How many of you are the eat the worst stuff first kind of people? Okay, and how many of you eat dessert first? Okay. It's usually about half and half. That tells me a lot about your personality, by the way. It does. It's like a personality test. When I was a kid, TV dinners were very popular. Like you get the Hungry Man with it had the steak, and then it had vegetables and potatoes, and then up here in this corner it usually had like a cherry cobbler, and you just put the whole thing in the oven. It's for parents. It's for single parents, right? That's my mom when I was coming from work, and she's like, put it in the oven. I'd sit in front of the TV and watch something while I ate my. I'm to eat dessert last, by the way. Like I lean heavy into let's get this over with and eat the broccoli is always first. So let's get it done so I can have everything else get that taste out of my mouth. So it's sort of like this, right? You just eat the things, and then once you solve each individual piece of this, you just reassemble what was there. You put it back together so that all of it is solved, but you solved it in easy little pieces. One of the ways that we do this, one of the ways that we break down the problem is using pseudocode. And all pseudocode means is that you are writing not actual code, but you're writing language that describes what you want to do with the code. And we've done this a little bit, right? When I talk about comments first programming, that's basically starting with pseudocode. It's saying, what do we want to do? So if I'm thinking this is my code, I might write this in pseudocode. Now, this, I could break down even further. I could say, create a variable called x and count from 1 to 200. And then below that, I would say for each x, you're going to print out that number. So how far you break it down depends on how simple you want it to be. But a lot of times when we're creating code and we're working through how to create an algorithm, doing pseudocode helps us, because what we can do is we can ask ourselves, when we write this, we can ask ourselves, is that problem simple enough, or can I break it down more? And sometimes breaking it down more is more work for you and it's not helpful. But a lot of times, if a problem is too complex, now you can focus on this piece of it and just what that piece means.